Lately, I've been kind of bogged down with editing videos from the last two projects that I've been working on and doing documentation for those. And I'd kind of told myself, I'm not going to do another model until I get that stuff done. This one's been calling to me. I can't ignore it anymore. This is from Kayakasaurus, whose YouTube channel I've been watching and admiring their work for the last couple of years. And this was one that he put out recently. This is a Triceratops nest with a secret compartment. So I thought, yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. And my girlfriend loves Triceratops. So, yeah. So I'm going to do this one. I started off by cleaning the parts with some Windex and wiping them down, and then water and wiping them down again to remove any potential residual release agent that might interfere with my paint job. Then I got on to priming. Now, I decided I wanted to do this experiment where I'm using multiple primers, different colors for different things. I used Tamiya white surface primer for the eggshells. I used Mr. Hobby Mr. Oxide Red Surface Primer 1000 for the hatchlings themselves. And for the ground, I first tried Citadel Chaos Black Primer, and that one was a problem. It flaked off really easy to the point that I had to strip it down and do it all over again. For the second time around for the ground, I used some Tamiya Red Brown, which is actually a spray paint. It's not a primer, but I figured it would work. Now, for each subsequent step or each subsequent color, I masked the different parts off and then primed them and then remasked again as I needed until I got it completely done. My usual practice is to do some pre-visualization before I get into actually painting the model. Now, that usually involves sketches in color or doing a toy version of whatever the thing is, painting that up to test my paint job, or both. In this case, I did do sketches, but I got three little toy Triceratops, and I also got some eggs from the craft store, and both of those ended up being their own side quest models, if you will, and I'll show those at the end. But they were really handy to really get my head around what I was doing here. Now, I did decide to kind of do these Triceratops like longhorns because, well, I'm in Texas and we've got longhorns. So it did help me make some decisions on how I was going to use the paints to do the actual Triceratops hatchlings themselves. To do the skin on the hatchlings, I used a mix of Calvary brown and amaranth red, and I believe at one point I did a wash with German Camouflage black brown, and then did various dry brushing to bring the highlights out. For the horns and claws, I started with a base coat of Panzerace's dark rubber and then highlighted it with Panzerace's light rubber. And at a certain point, I did use some cream white and mixed up some Calvary brown with the German Camouflage black brown and black to do the tips. The mouth, I used Old Rose and later did the highlights such as they are, because they're not real big mouths, with a combination of the Old Rose and cream white. For the eyes, for the sclera, I did cream white, and the pupils started with a base coat of infantry blue, and later went over that with deep sky blue. And at that point, I hit everything with a coat of the Tamiya flat clear spray paint, and then came back with the Tamiya clear to put the gloss in the eyes. For the eggs, I used cream white for the base coat, and then I did a watered down flicking of the paint with a real stiff brush to get a speckled pattern, and using flat earth, German camouflage black brown, and leather brown. The soil was a base coat of the German camouflage black brown and highlights with leather brown. Lastly, there was this medallion or coin that came with it with a Kayakasaurus logo, and I did that first with blue-green, and then I did a wash that was a mix of black and blue-green, and then did the highlights with a light blue-green, and that pretty much got all the painting done. The egg nest with Triceratops hatchlings by Kayakasaurus is done. This is a fun, quick little kit. It has a little secret compartment. It's kind of fun. So this was mostly a painting adventure. Really no assembly involved in this. So because it was a painting adventure, I followed my usual process, which is I did a sketch, and then where possible I'll get a model of whatever it is, or a little toy of whatever it is I'm making, and paint that up as a test bed. And so for this, I found eggs, and I found some toy Triceratops. So let's look at the eggs first. So I have these guys here, made a little nest. Not perfect at all, very imperfect, but it gave me some experience to apply to the actual eggs, including I was doing a process of trying to get some speckling on the eggs by taking a brush with paint on it and pulling on the bristles and flinging it onto the egg. That eventually worked out pretty well. I mean, I think, I'm going to go back and look at this here. I may have overdone it a little bit, but not bad. I mean, you see speckled eggs in nature, so that's not uncommon. The other thing I did, like I was talking about getting a toy and painting it up to test the paint job, were some toy Triceratops that I found, and I wanted to base them off of longhorns because I'm in Texas and we got the longhorns, and so I looked at different pictures of longhorns, and I think that came out pretty good. This was kind of a fun little side quest to do. And lastly, in this came with this little kind of coin-like thing here with Kayakasaurus's logo and URL for their YouTube channel. So I painted this up just for fun. It was there. So anyway, this was a fun build to do, and not sure what the next adventure is yet, but there will definitely be one. So stick around, more fun to come.